Alrighty then. Welcome back to another episode of the Delusional Daydreams podcast. I am your host, Ari Lou. Oh my god. If you can't tell by the sound of my nasally ass voice, that bug that I thought my body was fighting off last week because it wasn't progressing, it finally progressed this last weekend, so I just feel it all over my body, all in my chest. My throat doesn't hurt, but it's kind of just like phlegmy chest stuff, a lot of congestion and mucus and sneezing and body aches. So yeah, I am feeling very tired and my brain fog is just out of this world. I can't even finish that sentence. My brain doesn't even know where to go from there. But it's funny because I've been feeling like this the past couple days. And today I knew I needed to record a podcast. And I knew I needed to get my journal out and get stuff out and come up with ideas and try and just use my brain to create. But when I'm feeling like this, man, the last thing I want to do is use any kind of brain power whatsoever ever. So I felt like all day I wasn't necessarily procrastinating on filming this episode and recording something, but I did save it for last, which I always do. And so then it was just all day I was just having this anxiety about having to sit down and use my brain to sit here and talk to you today. You know, it's like once you start, it's really not that bad. It's always the anxiety leading up to doing something, starting something, going out of the house, going to an event, anything. I mean, it could be absolutely anything. It's literally just the anxiety and the anticipation is always so much worse than being in it and experiencing it. Go back in time 6 to 8 months. Usually my past self, if I started feeling like this, I would go super fucking easy on me, where I wouldn't go out for a walk. I wouldn't even try to stretch. I'd probably spend all day in bed, stoned out of my mind, watching some super stupid reality TV show on Netflix, because they always hook you and grab you in. I love that drama. But anyways, that is how I would normally spend a day like this. But since I've been really pushing myself to sync my body movement with my hormonal phases and doing some cycle syncing, I've been pushing myself because this week is actually my ovulation week. So pushing myself to prioritize the things that I always say I prioritize, doing the things I say I'm going to do, aka first thing in the morning, doing my full body stretch, getting the kinks out. And like this morning, that was the last thing I wanted to do because my body just hurt, my head hurt, my chest hurt. And I was just like, I don't even want to lift a finger, let alone get my yoga mat out and try and do some stretching. But when I realized, if I truly want to love myself in this moment, I need to be taking care of myself. And that means getting my yoga mat out and not fucking going all ham and getting a sweat on first thing in the morning. My body couldn't compute. There's no way it could handle that right now. But stretching, get those kinks out. I felt so much better. And then going outside for our long ass dog walk. So getting about 2 hours of body movement in, up and down hills, fresh sunlight, fresh air. That really did feel good. But after doing that, that was kind of like the push of my energy physically for today. So now I am tired from pushing myself, not only with my body movement, but also pushing myself on my to-do lists and pushing myself to keep going, especially when it comes to creating this podcast, when it comes to content creating, when it comes to building what it is I'm trying to build. it would have been so fucking easy for me to just keep my laptop closed all day, just scroll on TikTok all day and get absolutely butt fuck nothing done. But pushing myself to get through this laundry list is what it feels like. It's just never fucking ending. And even just going beyond this, I mean, keeping up with the house, getting ready to go on our van life excursion and all the things we have to do for that. It's like really just trying to not only keep up with life, stay active, keep the household going, but just get projects done and just stay on top of shit. So I'm staying consistent. That is wearing me out. All of it is just very draining right now. But one thing, it's actually funny. I'm trying to shift my perspective when it comes to my to-do lists and my laundry lists of things that I need to get done in order to accomplish what it is I'm trying to accomplish in all different aspects of my life. I usually look at it as work. Like, oh my God, I gotta do this. Oh, there's so much work. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And I was watching the movie. Oh, what the fuck is it called? Oh, Ready Player One. Awesome movie. A little bit terrifying when I was watching that. I was kind of thinking like, wow, we already kind of live in that world, because if you just took away the VR and the bodysuits and living in that world, it's almost like our phones is the oasis, and we're constantly on social media and we're living in this fake ass world when really there's this whole ass world that we're really living in. But anyways, that's not the point I was trying to make. What I was actually getting out of that movie, and something that shifted my perspective when it comes to work or having to get things done or having to overcome obstacles or hitting roadblocks on your path to success or on your path to achieving something, instead of looking at it as work, because it's all about your mindset, right? It's all about how you perceive it, because it's your reality. Instead of viewing all of this stuff as work and just dreading it, I was like, oh my God, if life is like a video game, every single thing that I have to check off my to-do list, every single thing I have to accomplish, every single thing I have to overcome, I have to re-navigate, I have to rework, every roadblock, all of it. Each one of those is like a level in a video game. And just like in video games, you don't just get to the main prize right the fuck away. No, what would be the point of that? Right? I don't actually play video games like at all, but it computes in my brain. Instead of looking at all these obstacles and roadblocks, looking at them as levels in a video game, missions that I have to complete, things that I have to overcome, battles that I have to win, enemies that I have to defeat, those enemies being myself. But looking at my life and my goals in terms of it being levels to a video game, and I don't know how many levels there are, but I do know that if I keep going, I sure as hell am going to be a lot closer to that main prize than I would be if I gave up at level 3. Kind of like reworking that perspective. It's making all the resistance and all the obstacles in the to-do list that much more fun, because it really does feel like, oh, yep, I just leveled up. Oh, yep, I just leveled up. I gained these amount of points. I learned this, and now I'm ready for the next level. You know, I've gained these pocket of skills, or I've picked up these different items that are then going to help me on to the next level. And the main prize for me at this point, I'm not going to get too specific, but the main prize for me is going to be that breath of fresh air. And I know I'm not the only one feeling this. I know that since the pandemic hit, like, the world has been crazy. The world has been weird. Everything's expensive. There's tension everywhere. Oh my God. At least in my reality and in my experience, the last couple of years have really been a fight for survival and a fight for our dreams and a fight to just be able to take those baby steps one at a time is what it feels like. And I'm just, I know that breath of fresh air is coming. I know there's going to be a day where I'm just going to be able to and not like we made it and that's the end goal, but more like, oh my God, I can breathe finally, and now we can fucking flow forward instead of feeling like we're going upstream battling class 5 rapids. It's like, yo, I just want to be in the flow. I am excited for that breath of fresh air, and I'm sure you are too, and I know we just need to have faith that it is coming. It's crazy because since I started committing towards the path or down the path of doing this podcast, really relinquishing any sense of a plan, any sense of a vision, and just taking messy action because I was so sick of just like sitting stuck in this paralysis of planning. Since I started taking action down this path, through every project, through every video, it's crazy, through every step I've taken, it feels like the map is being laid out in front of me, and it is just getting clearer and clearer with every step, exactly where I need to go and what things I need to do and what steps I need to take in order to get to that breath of fresh air. And just by committing and taking messy action, it's like finally I can see where all this is leading. I can see this vision that I didn't have when I recorded my first episode. And now I know what I need to be doing. It is up to me to initiate taking action. It is up to me to not only initiate, but also take consistent action and do the things I know I need to do. Do the things that have become crystal clear in my vision and in my roadmap that I need to do in order to get to that breath of fresh air. Because I felt like for so long, I was kind of just sitting, waiting for this aha, waiting for this miracle, waiting for someone to reach out and save me, or just any kind of miracle to give me some sense of clarity. But one thing I'm learning is that life will not find you while you are waiting. That miracle that you're waiting for, it's not going to find you while you're waiting. Life is going to meet you with that miracle while you are out in the world living your life. You have to be the one taking risks, taking initiation, taking action, making moves for yourself, doing the things that light your heart on fire, being grateful for what already surrounds you, and then being innovative and looking around at what you already have and how can you use what you already have to start taking those steps forward. Release that comparison syndrome. Forget about what anybody else is doing, how anybody else is doing it, because that is what makes you feel less than, because you probably don't have the $10,000 setup with all the equipment and the filming, and you probably don't have that from the beginning, and you probably don't have that initial investment to be able to make that purchase. So instead of comparing yourself and thinking that you're less than someone who has already been doing something for 5-10 years and is at this level, look around you. See what you can start using that you already have to start taking steps in the direction that you want to take. Because when you start taking that initiative, life is going to meet you. And you need to remember that your journey is not going to look like anybody else's journey. So again, release that comparison syndrome. Look around what you have. Be grateful and start taking action, because your journey is a unique, one-of-a-kind journey for you. You are the main character in your reality. And you need to remember that. And once you remember that and start living like that, life is going to catch up to you and meet you with miracles that you thought only happened in the movies. Damn, that was actually pretty good for feeling as shitty as I feel today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think that's all I've got for today. Yeah, my brain is saying nay. We're going to cut it off there. Until next time, Ari Lou signing out. Peace punch, Captain Crunches. Take your vitamins. Get some rest. There's something going around. I don't want you to catch it. Bye.